Welcome, humans, and any celestial body else out there listening. This is Curious Minds, Infinite Answers. I'm your host, Courtney Christine Costco. This podcast, simply put, is a mix of human curiosity and how, with the help of AI technology, curious minds can get the answers we seek. Let's get mind-bending and plunge deep beneath the surface of our everyday thoughts. Let's begin. Have you ever just known something before you could explain why? Maybe it was a feeling, a shift in the air, a pull in your gut that told you to pay attention, even when everything on the surface seemed fine. Was that instinct, experience, or was it something deeper? Welcome to Curious Minds, Infinite Answers. I'm your host, Courtney, and in this episode, Beyond Logic, Unlocking the Power of Intuition, we're exploring that quiet, often overlooked space within all of us, where decisions happen faster than thoughts, and where a different kind of intelligence begins to speak. This isn't mystical, not magical, but it is essential. And with that, let's explore. Logic versus intuition. Two tools, one mind. As infants, we don't come into the world armed with language or reason. All we can do is observe, feel, and absorb. We study faces, tone, energy. We learn safety through rhythm. We sense love through presence. And slowly, through repetition and reaction, we begin to assign meaning. That's the beginning of logic. Over time, logic becomes our main tool for survival. We're taught, if it can't be explained, it's not real. If there's no proof, it doesn't matter. And if it isn't measurable, it shouldn't be trusted. And so we begin to filter the world through that lens. But intuition, it doesn't follow that model. It's not the opposite of logic. It's simply a different way of knowing. Where logic breaks things down into steps, intuition often arrives fully formed, sudden, whole, and deeply felt. Where logic asks for evidence, intuition delivers a signal, like a nudge, a shift in energy, a whisper you can't quite trace. And the truth is, we need both. When we learn how to use both together, that's when we unlock something far more powerful: wisdom. So if logic and intuition are both essential, then where are they actually coming from? This is where physicist and consciousness researcher Thomas Campbell offers something radically intriguing. In his book, My Big Toe, short for Theory of Everything, Campbell proposes that what we call reality is more like a virtual environment. Think of it like this. You're playing a video game. You have a character with a name, stats, limitations, but you, the player, exist outside the screen. You see more, you access more, you aren't limited by the same rules. Campbell believes our lives are a lot like that. Our bodies, those are the avatars. The world around us, a rule-based simulation, like a cosmic Dungeons & Dragons campaign designed to help us grow, evolve, and make choices. But the one making those choices, the one guiding the avatar, that's consciousness. And that's you, beyond the character. Here's where it gets even more intriguing. Intuition, according to Campbell, is the communication channel between the player and the character. The you outside the game sending subtle signals to the you inside it. When you get a gut feeling, a flash of insight, or that undeniable sense that something isn't quite right, that may not be your brain guessing. It may be your awareness, outside the simulation, nudging you through the fog. Because the avatar is limited by space, time, and logic. But the player can see the big picture. So intuition may not be a mystery after all. I mean, according to this theory, it may be a built-in feature, meant to guide us, quietly, from beyond the edges of what we call real. Okay, so if intuition is a signal, a message from the player to the avatar, how does that actually feel in our everyday lives? You could probably guess. Sometimes it's not dramatic, it's subtle. A pause, a tension in your chest, a quiet feeling that something isn't quite right, even when everything around you says it should be. You might be a bartender. Your night is slow. You're working the floor alone. Someone walks in and nothing about them seems wrong, but your body notices something before your mind can name it. Your senses heighten. You feel alert. It's not fear exactly, just a shift, a signal. Or maybe you're dating someone. On paper, it all fits. They're saying the right things, acting the right way, but something inside you can't relax. There's this quiet discomfort. You can't explain it, but later, you find out why. In those moments, logic is still catching up, but your intuition, it's already speaking. This isn't magic, it's pattern recognition, emotional memory, and maybe it's your broader consciousness accessing more data than your avatar ever could. Intuition shows up in goosebumps, in dreams that stay with you, in the feeling that you need to turn around, or reach out, or wait just one more moment. And often, it's right. That doesn't mean it's perfect, but it does mean it's worth paying attention to. Even in the academic world, where logic and evidence reign supreme, intuition still holds a seat at the table. It might go by different names: split-second processing, pattern recognition, subconscious inference. But the idea is the same. There's a form of intelligence that operates before we can fully explain it. Daniel Kahneman, psychologist and Nobel Prize winner, calls this System 1 thinking. It's fast, instinctive, emotional. The kind of thinking that helps us navigate the world quickly, especially when time is limited. It's not always right, he says, but it's incredibly efficient. Daniel Dennett, known for his rigorous, skeptical mind, still acknowledges that most of what the brain does, it does behind the scenes. He says, just because something is unconscious doesn't mean it's not meaningful. Even those who live by logic understand that logic isn't the whole picture. Jordan Peterson, whose work often centers on structure and rational analysis, admits that in high-pressure moments, intuition becomes essential. He says, it's what guides you when there's not enough time to think. These perspectives don't mystify intuition, they validate it. They show us that this other way of knowing isn't separate from logic, it's complementary. And when we can learn how to listen to both, we're no longer just reacting to the world, we're navigating it with far more precision. We live in a world that prioritizes certainty. We're trained to value what can be measured, backed up, explained in a report or spreadsheet. And yes, logic has gotten us far. It's helped us build, calculate, organize, and protect. But when we rely on logic alone, we can miss something quieter, but just as vital. Because not every decision gives you time to analyze. Not every situation comes with a full picture, and not everything that matters can be proven in the moment you need to act. That's where intuition steps in. It's not there to replace logic. It's there to fill in the spaces where logic hasn't reached yet. It helps you move through uncertainty. It guides you when all you have is a feeling. In a time where we're constantly overloaded with information and stimulation, intuition becomes more than helpful. It becomes necessary. It's how we sense what isn't being said. It's how we notice what doesn't feel right. It's how we know to wait or move or change course when nothing on the surface has yet to shift. The good news is, intuition isn't a gift reserved for a few. It's a skill, and like any skill, it sharpens with use. But here's the thing, it doesn't respond to pressure. You can't force intuition to speak louder by trying harder. It comes through stillness. So here are a few simple ways to start tuning in. Ask, then step back. Instead of overthinking, pose a question to yourself, and then let it go. Let the answer come naturally over time. Notice your body, that feeling in your stomach, that sudden calm, that tension in your shoulders. It might be information. Learn your own signals. Track your inner signals. Keep a journal. Jot down moments when you had a hunch and what happened next. You'll start to see patterns. Practice in small decisions. What to wear, what route to take, what conversation to start. Let your intuition guide you in the small things first. Create quiet. You don't need total silence, but cutting through the noise of constant scrolling, overthinking, and external opinions, create space to hear yourself again. And above all, stay open. You don't have to believe in anything mystical to trust your own awareness. You just have to listen without judgment when something nudges you. We weren't built to figure everything out all the time. We were built to sense, to adapt, to feel our way forward. So the next time something doesn't sit right or pulls at your attention, pause, notice it. Because not everything can be explained right away, and not everything is meant to be. Sometimes the most powerful insights don't arrive with logic. They arrive as a whisper, a pause, a signal just beneath the noise. And maybe that's the real you, the you that exists beyond the avatar, sending yourself a message through the moment. The question is, will you listen? If you know someone who might benefit from this message and maybe could use guidance on tuning into their own intuition, share it. Start the conversation. It could save them from a world of hurt. And remember, sometimes the most powerful answers don't shout, they whisper. Until next time, stay curious, stay open, and trust your intuition. Thank you for tuning in to Curious Minds, Infinite Answers. I'm Courtney Christine Koskin, and I hope you'll join me for next week's episode.